cruise trip across the world and also go to Antarctica.
I told him like that this key difference is language which we developed or communication skills. So I was like so flattered by that. Oh, I was like, wow, poker legit has a world championship, and like people in India have no idea about this. When it is linked with like this social taboo, people do talk a lot.
All these tournaments, you being a part of the team, going into auctions, it's a lot of pressure. Question about you: in case say you had a particular amount of extra money, so what would you do? Would you like maybe reinvest into your poker, like right now, not maybe as a college student, but right now? Or is there something else that you'd like to invest it in or spend it in or buy some cool technology? What would it be? Say $10,000 or $20,000. Or if there's something you want to buy which is more like $100,000, what would you do with that money?
Okay. So to be honest, I am really not like a material fan kind of guy, I really, and it's not like I don't want to sound like cool saying this, but I honestly, I'm that guy who, likes experiences over materials. So like, I don't know, I would, if I were to spend it, obviously, if there is an option, I partly invest it, partly spend it or something like that. But if you like really tell me that if there is an only option of, you can't use it or spend it, either you spend it or lose it, probably I'll, go on some excursion, maybe like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe take a cruise trip to Antarctica.
Basically, some luxurious travel experience, which I am able to do. And like when you are buying experiences, there is no limit to what you can buy, to be honest. Like, so material stuff will end after a point of time, I don't know, it doesn't for some people, but after a point of time you lose the value of it, but I believe the experience stays with you for a lifetime. Like if you have done like, I don't know, say like if you like have an experience of climbing Mount Everest, it will be with you all your life. So like if you were like, I don't know, I'm not into like technology a lot, but I don't know, iPhone won't stand, like will be with you all your life, or it will get outdated at some point of time, but that experience will stay with you all your life. So I would definitely invest something of that sort of money in experiences. But yeah, probably I would have mathematical calculations for that also, obviously, like partly invest it, something like that, definitely.
No, that's great. For me, if I would have like a good amount of money that I could only spend and I wasn't allowed to invest, I would take a cruise trip across the world and also go to Antarctica. That is something that is there on my bucket list. So I would spend it.
We share this. Okay. To be honest, we share this dream. A cruise, I said in my answer. So I really have a fascination about cruises, and like in India, I don't really have a lot of them. But I've done already 2 cruises in India, which they have already. So apart from that, I do share this dream of going to Antarctica. Maybe, and also it's coming nowadays only, like it's in the news or something because of last year. The commercial space. Going to space, commercial space travel. So if I ever to do that, in my life, I would definitely want to have that experience also. So I don't know what amount of money it takes, or in future, obviously it will probably get lesser expensive. So yeah, that's one experience which probably I will want to have.
No, completely agreed. Especially when I was watching the Inspiration 4 documentary on Netflix, I was just stuck to the TV watching Netflix for the series of how like earlier it used to be that only astronauts were able to go, but Inspiration 4 like broke that. One was an astronaut aspiring, but the other 3 people were like normal people, and they got to go spend 3 days into space, and that too further away from the International Space Station. And it was so thrilling to watch. And probably during our lifetimes itself, we will be able to go into space. Even if I get maybe a one-way ticket to Mars, maybe I'll still consider it.
Okay, I'm not sure of that, but yeah, definitely I want to get into like have that experience of space travel. Antarctica, definitely I want to, like, and it is possible. I have heard of like there are like commercial tourism which started for Antarctica. I'm sure of that. Yeah, eventually at some point of time in life I'll do that also.
Yeah. There's one more question. So if you could give a tip to your 18-year-old self who has just completed like class 12 and is going to enter engineering, and like you said, you came to a different city, what is one tip that you would have given yourself?
Okay. It's a tough question.
I
was a noob back then, to be honest. So probably like I would give myself a book of my ideas now, but like I don't know, probably it's kind of a question related. I mean, probably similar to any kind of regret which you have, something like that, which you will go back and do better. That it's a similar question to this. To be honest, I don't really have an answer to this. Maybe many times people say to this, like listen less to people and something like that, but I never did that. It's difficult. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't have any regrets. That's too much probably. But I have no idea. That's a tough question for me actually.
Okay, not an issue. Yeah, maybe you'll think of something later on when you're thinking about the podcast or something, and something.
Probably maybe I'll comment down on this podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or if I can think of something in this, probably I'll tell that.
Yeah, that would be great. And so what is the best compliment that you've ever received? Like, be it in your poker journey or apart from that, in your travel or anything like that?
Okay. For this, I'd say we'll go back to like when I was in class 11th. What happened there was there was like this one camp. So I had given this exam of science, like it was like this science talent search examination or something like that, which MKCL, Maharashtra Knowledge Corporation Limited organized. And they had selected like, I don't know, some 35 students in Maharashtra who like topped the exam. And they called us for this camp in Pune, 8-day camp, where they essentially like, I don't know, their practical agenda was, telling people like, don't go into engineering and doctor, which is like the usual science stuff. You are like really, really good science brains out of the state, top science brains. Please go into like core science, and they like made us like, they had like 2-3 talks of every day of scientists for like 7 days. They had a field visit to ISER and all that institutions. Basically, they were like, go into core research and core science, not in engineering and something. So what happened in one of these lectures was, in one scientist was asked this question in class, wherein he asked that what is like one thing which distinguishes human beings from other animals. Like why were we able to like progress so much? And while a dog is a dog from the last 100,000 years, while humans have progressed so much in the last 100,000 years. So what is the one key difference which is different, which is not present in animals and is present in humans? So he was like basically asking us to brainstorm about this. And, I came up with this answer. Like I told him like that this key difference is language, which we developed, or communication skills, which we developed. Basically, if I were like to discover something by like my experience about nature or something, I was able to document or write or share my experience to someone else, humankind, pass my knowledge on to further generations. This is a skill which humans developed, which gave us advantage over animals. So I just brainstormed and thought about this, and I did not expect it like, to be a correct answer or something. I just gave an answer. So what happened was he was really impressed. He did not really expect anyone in the classroom to come up with this. And even I was surprised, that it came like, I don't know, probably with some basic thought process to me. So what happened was after the lecture and stuff, there was like this facilitation for that scientist, and and he told me, so there was this guest who was like supposed to like facilitate him, and he told me, can I get facilitated by that student who gave that answer? So I was like so flattered by that. I was like, wow. Really is he like, thinking that, am I really like, did I really give this big of an answer, for him to be like so impressed by me? So that is something which I will remember all my life.
No, that's wonderful that he thought. he like gave you that stage and that position that you were felicitating him. That's wonderful.
Yeah, he told me like, I want to get facilitated by this student. I was like, oh wow.
Wow, that's wonderful. And
yeah, so I mean, obviously he was a very qualified scientist. I don't know, 15, 16 years of easily work experience and something. And I was just a 10th standard, 11th standard student back then. So yeah, I definitely had, as I said before also, I had a lot of interest in science, in basic science also. So yeah, basically physics and maths. So because of that, I was like selected in this all. So yeah.
No,
it
that's
also acted again, something which I acted for me in poker.
Mm-hmm.
I am really good at physics now also. Like I really remember all the concepts and stuff which I have studied back in 12th standard also. After that also, like now also I study, not study, but I follow a lot of physics which goes on in the world. Like, so yeah.
That's wonderful. So since you shared that you like to learn new things, is there something that you're researching or maybe you are looking into right now? Be it
as I said, psychology.
Okay. So you've already started working on that path.
Yeah, I'm like reading stuff and I like to like find online forums and discuss there. And I really like to understand how people think and like connect the dots. I'm also good at like connecting stuff from like a lot of things. Like as I said, I like finance, I like mathematics, and like I like games. So all this culminated into poker. So I really like connecting the dots. So what I think, like whenever a human mind takes a decision, there are a lot of different factors which go into taking that decision. So if you're really able to think about all those 15 factors and you're able to weigh and outweigh them and really understand how somebody would think, that is something which appeals me. That is why like I want to get into this psychology and stuff. So this is where this is the next
you
thing
are spending your other time into right now.
Yes, that's what appeals me.
That's great. So has there been a particular challenge or a kind of challenge that you faced along the way, and what was the way you were able to overcome it?
Okay. I don't know, poker is taboo. People don't understand the game. They just assume it's cards, so it's gambling, and like a lot of people associate it with like teen patti and think poker is gambling, or it is similar to that. But while the reality is like they are way different, like not even close. Poker legit has a world championship, and like people in India have no idea about this. So this basic awareness that people don't have any idea about what I'm doing. And like for that reason, I did not really have anybody to talk to be honest. In my close ones, obviously in a professional network, I get to talk to people about poker, definitely. But if you're a software engineer and if you have a friend who is a software engineer, not a professional, probably a school friend who is a software engineer, you can have that, right? Yeah. And so you share that close relation as well as that professional relation. That's not a professional relation which you share with them. So I have friends in poker, obviously, but they are not like the friends, which I had in college or that organic friendship. So it was like really difficult to find people to talk to about what I do. In general, also like it's difficult to understand. So that is something probably which I would say is difficult. It's very niche, like people don't know what it is, people don't understand what it is. So when it is linked with like this social taboo, people do talk a lot.
Yeah.
What I did to overcome it was, to be honest, like I did not really care about it from the start. My parents also like were very chill about it. Like they came to like all the way to Goa in my 4th year of engineering for that PSL. So from the start they were like, okay, do whatever you want to. So I mean, probably enhanced that it probably enhanced more of my ability to like not care and overcome it. I see fellow poker players who have not like told at their home that they play poker because
because of the
it is difficult to, and what will their parents say, or people who are like really good but are like still doing a job and not giving it like a full-time shot because they're afraid, they are not able to take that leap of faith. So yeah, all these are the probable like the biggest hurdles I'll say in my profession. That and yeah, mindset, like if you're like on a huge downswing, it's difficult, like, and in the end of the day, it's sport. So this insecurity always exists, this competitiveness always exists, that like somebody else will beat you, or if you're at the very top, somebody else will take your place. Should you be sharing your knowledge or not? Are there like some business secret we should maintain? So all this competitive thing, I it's not like really my cup of tea. This is not really like an environment which I like to function in. It might sound ironic that I am speaking this because I am in this profession, but that is not where it started. I eventually like laddered up, and like now I am in like India's top professionals. But when I started it, that was not my intention. So now in this, when I'm here, this environment is not really like what I like for, and it's too intense. That competition is too intense. So that is why, probably, and I am not that kind of person, who has that ambition, I want to be the best player in India or in the best player in the world, or, something like that. So for me, it even becomes like more of the reason, okay, just give up, or, that sort of feelings.
No, I completely agree that being a sport competition and having all these tournaments, you being a part of the team, going into auctions, it's a lot of pressure
Yes.
that you have to face and still function, and it is a very concentration intensive sport. You cannot let these things affect you or cloud your judgment in any way. So tackling all of that stress must be really challenging, especially on a day-to-day basis as well. But I'm really glad that you've had a great support system, your family, because as you said, of people must not be very comfortable in sharing it to their family that they're playing poker professionally, and that must be an additional hurdle that they have to overcome. But it's great that your parents are supportive, and you have also gone through and put in the real time effort and have had a great work ethic that has led you to the place that you have been in. That's really wonderful. So Kshitij, we all got to know that you are somebody who loves to travel. You're a professional poker player. You love to travel, and probably the next thing that we can see you in is something surrounding poker as well as mental health, probably.
Yes.
Was a question that I wanted to ask. So, like you said, that you are a part of a team and there are auctions and everything that go on just the way they happen in, say, cricket teams or IPLs or something like that. Is there a team that you are associated to right now, or would you like to share that with us?
I'm not associated with anything.
Okay.
I have no official sponsors or no official teams which I am affiliated to as of now.
What was the recent most, say, team you were associated to, or your recent most tournament that you played in?
Okay, so PSL was the biggest, I would say Focus Sports League was the biggest. So Goa Nuts was the biggest team I was ever associated with. Apart from that, I have done streaming. So I've partnered with a couple of websites also. So I did stream in the lockdown time. I did try that out. It did not I wanted to teach, and that is why I started, but eventually I figured that's not my thing, so I left it. But at that time I partnered with some of the website and stuff. So yeah, that's about it. Not really a lot. Apart from that, I've been mostly really working individually. And yeah, that's it. I have definitely I've had a coaches who so what happens in this industry is if you have coaches, there are two or three types of different deals which you can have with your coaches. So you can pay an upfront fee or something for their time. This is the most basic way which somebody offers, but this is not really popular in poker. So what happens is, in general, say for example, you are not if I were to work on you or your game, and if I were to charge for my time, what will happen? You will do 2 or 3 sessions with me, and it will be usually a doubt session, and I'll solve some of your obvious leaks, and that's about it. But if you are to really work every day on your game, and get continuous reviews and help from someone, so what happens is there are coaches and mentors who they do is they take a share of your profits. So that is what something which is very popular in poker, which are known as stables, or wherein, they offer coaching and a lot of other stuff, like mindset training and, peer groups and a lot of study material and everything. They offer that. And in return, they'll help you on your game and stuff. You will have everyone to talk to. You'll have a community of players. Then in exchange for that, they will have a share of your profits. That's how it works. So I've like individually worked for like 2 or 3 months with 2 different coaches in my career. But yeah, that's about it. Apart from that, like most of it, I have like personally done it. I have had software also. So, to track my opponents' games and, playing tendencies and stuff, to find weaknesses and like theoretically trying to exploit them. That is what I've done using software and stuff. So that is something and then some courses which I had initially. So after a point of time, all this doesn't help. Like courses and softwares will take you to a point. After that, you really need like one-on-one working with someone who's better than you, definitely. So that is where these coaches and all come from. There have been like 2 people who have worked with, both of them were not from India. Basically international, like there are not really a lot of really good players here, especially like at my level now where I am. Like it's difficult to find people who are better than you. In India, it's difficult. So yeah, I've worked people who are outside India only.
We know that there's a lot of maths application here, but for somebody who's aspiring, maybe somebody who's getting inspired and has just come to know about this as a professional career through our podcast. So what would you suggest for somebody who's say maybe in college, like 11th, 12th, or early in their undergraduate degree courses or something, like that age group? What is a tip or suggestion you'd like to give to somebody of that age group who's listening to us today?
Discipline. Like discipline is the utmost like thing which you need to like make it up here. I would say discipline triumphs hard work in poker at least. Because the culture in India or the player quality in India is so low now, you can get away with like working less hard, but you can't get away with like being not disciplined here in poker. So discipline is the most important thing probably which you need now in poker. That definitely triumphs hard work here, which is like definitely might sound surprising, but it is, but that is one thing which I'll say, that if you have discipline, utmost discipline, and if you're not like, so the thing is that it will get you money, but like this is a sport in the end of the day. So in sports the money is like a pyramid, like the top 1% have 99% of it. So eventually it's all about climbing the pyramid and like being on the top. Otherwise there's no point being like a struggling player or something. You might, with this life, it is much better to like do a job if you're not making like a significant bit, much more money than that. It's much better to have a basic general job if the amount of money is same. So if you're struggling in poker, it makes no sense to play poker professionally. For fun, do whatever you want to, but professionally, you will want to like eventually get up on the apex of the pyramid. So discipline is the thing which will take you there. And I'm not sure, like to be honest, there is no supplement to math here. Like if you are fundamentally not really good at understanding some conceptual mathematics, there is no way around. Like apart from like there's no working around. Like it's not a comment on a person who doesn't understand mathematics here. It's just that poker is its way, and math is not too difficult here. Like it's not like calculus and shit. Like it's not like engineering level mathematics or something like that. That is not what I'm talking about. But the concepts of it is what you need to like really understand. They are difficult to grasp, or that system process oriented
thought. It will probably be difficult to cope up with the intense game that happens later on.
Yeah, you will have to like, there is no easier way, I'll put it.
Okay, that's great. I believe that's a great piece of advice for somebody who's motivated after the podcast to dive into this, of being disciplined and having a core understanding of maths, and being able to actually understand maths and not just like ratify it. is what I would say. Yeah.
There's no
You should
other way to
actually understand the reason of why something happens.
You can or also if you're interested, you can definitely contact me anytime. So one big reason I'll tell you why am I here is because there was a huge help from people in the community itself who were there before me, all the seniors of me. They were very diligent in helping new people get into the game. That is one thing which I am very thankful about to them, and also believe that it's say for example, it is in my interest to grow the game, to be honest, right? That is that is their thought process which they had, which I have. That poker is so niche and so naive here in India that say if suddenly 1 billion people know about poker as they know about cricket, we would be celebrities in the country. That's where we are. So it is in our interest to make poker big in the country, definitely. So that is the thought process which people in poker already have now. So in the sense that if there are people who really want to understand the game as a sport and want to popularize it or something like that, I am definitely open to helping them, because there are people who helped me, and I also believe that in general I like to guide and help or mentor people also. So that is a reason why you can just easily approach me anytime without any hesitation about poker.
So where can they find
I'm available on Facebook. You can easily reach me there.
Okay, sure. So probably I'll link in your Facebook right here in the description, so somebody can reach out. Definitely. And probably pop it up here in the video itself. So you can reach out to Kshitij. Do not spam him, but to get advice or mentorship, I believe Kshitij would be open to it.
Definitely.
Those were the main questions that I had, and it has been a wonderful discussion with you. Thank you so much for taking out the time and coming on the podcast, sharing your life journey, sharing various things that you are doing right now and how you got into the sport, how you have excelled in it, what were your key strategies, the secret tips of your work ethic, your discipline, and how you were able to achieve all of that. So thank you so much, Kshitij, for that.
Thank you so much, Drushti, for hosting me here, and the viewers who are watching this afterwards. If you are interested in contacting me, you are welcome. Apart from that, good luck in whatever you are doing in your life. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for listening today.